Hey, this is me building and strategizing a $2 million a year business in public. Last month, I made $139,000. Next month, I want to hit $167,000. And the way that this works is, no, we are not going to terminal. We are also not Einstein. I will always start by talking about some daily Q&A. After that, I will answer the questions of my viewers and then cover some brand stats, aka how much I've grown in the last 24 hours. Then the third, usually I'll do a little bit of strategy. Today, we're not really going to have the time to do that. But we are going to start with the daily Q&A, and I'm going to make it worth your while. So let me scroll down here to Nick Saraev Daily Updates. That's my new daily update channel. That's what you're currently watching right now. We crossed 1,000 subscribers yesterday. We're already at 1,066. Watch time is ballooning, so I'm pretty stoked about it. And what I'm going to do is just scroll all the way down to the bottom to get the latest questions, or the oldest questions that I haven't actually responded to. Okay, Real 2 Sif says, I confuse automation with the fact that it's not scalable in the future, that it feels a bit vague. You are repetitively making workflows? It's an interesting question. I believe you probably mischaracterized what I mean by automation, but actually automation is by far the most scalable of most service-based businesses right now because you don't repetitively make workflows at all. You actually just make them once, and then you get to profit off of them over and over and over and over again. Let me show you an example. So this might be like another business, okay? Let's say other service business. And bear with my shitty writing here if you can. Okay, so when you get a new client, what you always have to do is you have to fulfill. So if the new client comes in with 100% of the top line, right? Revenue's 100%, you haven't even touched them or whatever. When you fulfill, that kind of siphons off like 20%. And so, I don't know, maybe 25 or 30 or whatever, depending on your fulfillment. But let's say hypothetically, like the most you'll ever make off of them is 75%, okay? What you get to do with automation is when you get a new client, the very first time you will fulfill the project, okay? It'll draw that margin away. Got 100% of your money, so you get $1,000. The very first time it'll cost you $250 in labor to do it. But then afterwards, what you end up with is you end up with 75% plus a template. Why is this so valuable? Because the next time you get the project, okay, when you get the same sort of client, well, when you do the fulfillment step, I know I'm all over the place here, you don't spend 25% anymore. You copy a template, and then maybe you spend like 2%. So what you're left with is you're actually left with 98% after COGS, cost of goods sold. And what you end up with is you end up with this big, almost like a portfolio, almost like a book of templates. And this is huge. It's this huge book. You just have tens upon hundreds of thousands of different projects, basically, that you get to pull from. And anytime you meet a client, you just open up your little template portfolio, and then you just like, oh, that one's the closest to what they need. And then you deliver. So automation, is actually a lot more scalable than most other industries. If usually what happens is, you have some big cash inflow, then after the cash inflow, you have to sell part of it, basically. And then, this is your margin. With automation, it's basically like, oops, sorry, I'm all over the place here. You have this cash inflow, okay? Then you have an outflow once. And then basically every other thing there is you just have cash inflows over and over and over again with no cash outflow. So I know that, this might be a little bit confusing just the way I visualized it, but it's actually one of the most scalable things that you could do, I would say, at the moment. And given how easy it is to whip up a template and actually get started with this stuff, it's way easier to go from 0 to 1 than, let's say, like a software business where you need to have a ton of programming experience and so on and so forth to make it work. Okay, Abdul Said 1073 says, hey, Nick, loving the content and the value you add. I've learned a ton and I've started implementing the cold email outreach strategy you outlined. Wonderful. My question is, I'm currently doing the cold outreach by recording Loom videos and sending it to leads. I heard you mention doing 100 per day and sometimes 15 per day in older videos on your main channel. Could you shed some light on the cold email math here? Even when I'm recording personalized Loom videos, do I still need to send 100 of them daily? No, you do not. You could probably send out 5 a day that are like really targeted and really good. And you could probably hit this 25K a month within a few months if you're smart about it. So no, you do not need to send 100 of them. The 100 of them a day is like 100 cold emails. So cold emails are different than like customized. outreach. Okay. When I say cold emails, I just mean you've used AI to personalize an icebreaker, and then you're putting them into a platform like Instantly, and then you're sending like 100 a day to new people, 100 new client emails a day, 100 new leads a day. When I'm saying customized outreach, basically what I'm saying is you have some template, of course, because you want to leverage that template to shave time off your work. But then you will have some process whereby you record a Loom video where you discuss things that the client could do better, or strategies you could use to improve their outreach, or whatever. Make it hyper custom, insert that in the email, then also hit them across all DMable channels to maximize the probability of it getting seen. That takes like much longer per client, right? So if you're doing 15 per day, sorry, I don't know how many you're doing right now. It says you're recording Loom videos and send leads. Even if you do 5 per day, if you do this for a month, you're saying 150 super customized, and then you send them on 2 or 3 different platforms with omni-channel sort of intentions here, you'll do pretty well. I mean, obviously, assuming that the quality of your outreach isn't total garbage. But just given like how you phrase this question, unless your delivery is really shitty or something, and you just like blow at the camera portion or something like that, or your info blows, like you're going to do okay, Abdul. Awesome. Zaid says, Nick, really grateful for your channel. I really appreciate your aesthetically pleasing content. Thank you. If you're referring to my eyebrows. Curious to know what type of lead magnets have been working best for you. I know it's easy to give away blueprints and stuff, but doesn't that just attract other agency owners and not potential clients? Or are there business owners who genuinely use Make or other platforms and come to you for more detailed stuff? Or is it usually like, just help me automate this thing however you can? So I think you might be misunderstanding my exact value prop here, Zaid. So I am doing... There you go. I'm doing 2 or 3 separate things. So I am selling AI automations to business owners. These are business owners that don't have a lot of experience with automation tools or strategies or platforms. So they come to me for a done-for-you DFY service that I build for them. That's number one, okay? So I'm not actually creating YouTube videos for that target audience. I do have a bunch of people come in that like what I'm saying, that tend to run other businesses that have like seen a couple of videos of me drag and drop stuff, and they get intrigued by it. But that's not actually the most effective strategy to attract them. In addition to me looking for actual customers to do the done-for-you services, I also record YouTube videos where I show automation agencies and automation specialists how to build out systems. And then I create content showing automation agencies and automation specialists how to make money by selling these systems, which is a different target audience. So I guess to make a long story short, I kind of have 2 audiences. The first is general B2B agencies and biz owners. And this is what I market my done-for-you stuff to. This is what I use Instantly to market, where I do cold email stuff, whatever. And that's where I basically do done-for-you. And then this is my agency rev, which last month made, again, right around $25,000, maybe a little bit more, but right around $25,000. Then I have my other audience, which is kind of like done with you. This is AI automation freelancers, aka probably you right now, right? Freelancers, agencies, etc. People that want to get started with the AI automation business model, basically. And then this is my coaching rev, which as of last month is $114,000, bringing both of this to $139K, which, by the way, is an 11 grand increase from last month. So I'm making up some money. Keeping in mind too, this 139K, you know what? Shortest month of the year last year. So if I multiply this by 1.1 to demonstrate the fact that it's about 10% shorter than the average year, not exactly, I would have made at this rate 152K, which is actually pretty close to the 100 and let's say 153K. Actually pretty close to my goal. I'm just 14K away. So that's pretty sweet, huh? Okay, awesome. So hopefully that answers your question, Zaid. I really appreciate the time and you asking me that. I think I'll do one more. Okay, this one is pretty long, but whatever. Appreciate your answer, Nick, from Elixist. These are the use cases I was thinking of. Could be a thing coaches sell to their students, could help tackle a lot of repetitive questions, their programs, and or highly specialized questions that a coach is a pioneer on, like specific formulas and stuff. Businesses with large amounts of materials to sift through to get work done, such as equipment operation manuals, handbooks, and stuff like that. Being able to talk to that would save the business money in terms of time saved. Elixist, just for context, asked me a question a few days back about RAG, retrieval augmented generation, which is the process of taking a bunch of documents or maybe Wikipedia entries or a bunch of text about something, then training an AI model to be able to retrieve factually relevant snippets of it, and then taking the factually relevant snippets and inserting it in the prompt of another AI model to answer questions about it. So you're basically separating the facts and then the reasoning. I don't really like RAG that much. I think you could probably do most of what you want to do with RAG just yourself if you just copy everything and stick it in a prompt to one of these big context window models anyway. Like GPT 4.5 has 128,000 tokens of context now. So you can do a ton with that, right? You can basically put a whole book in there. Anyway, sorry, I'm just getting a call. Yeah, so it comes down to how the data is vectorized. Even better if the model's trained the data directly, yes. So I wouldn't ever worry about training a model. Sorry, I misspoke when I said RAG earlier. We don't actually train a model to like sift through the thing. The models are pre-established. They're called embedding models. So you just call an endpoint. How all of this works is it's basically Google, okay, for your data set. You will then Google a question in your data set. So in this case, maybe I have a data set where I answer questions like this. And the question is, how to vectorize data or something. I go through my own data set and then I pull up a list of my own search results. Then I feed these search results into AI and have AI answer a question based off the search results, okay? That's about as technical as I think realistically I'm going to get. I wouldn't worry too much about understanding more of this. I think you are right that you could sell a RAG version of somebody to students. You could make an artificial Nick Saraev and sell them. A lot of people have tried. We haven't gotten a lot of value out of this just because, as I mentioned, RAG isn't very good. Questions and answers are usually, or the answers are usually kind of junk. But yeah, equipment operation manuals, handbooks, and stuff like that. Just keep in mind that all you're really doing, just to be blunt, is you're just creating a search engine just for your own stuff. And then you're having AI take the results of the search engine and then answer your questions. So I think this is actually a lot more valuable. And this is actually what I've done at 1 Second Copy. We had a big manual, essentially, we had a manual, and then we also had all articles that we've ever written. And then anytime somebody would ask a question about if you've done content on this or done content on that, we used RAG to actually pull the highest performers or highest matches, then grab the first 3 and then link it as a way to like customize the responses that were going out on Upwork and then cold email. So that is pretty cool. I could see the manual stuff be very valuable as well. But to be real, like you could just grab the PDF of your manual and upload it to ChatGPT nowadays, or create a custom GPT based off that knowledge base. And you could do it all in like 3 minutes as opposed to actually building and setting all this stuff up yourself. So that'd be my recommendation there. I'm going to leave it at that just in terms of the questions and answers. But thank you, Ziad. Thank you, Elixist. Really appreciate you, Abdul. And thank you very much, Real to Yusuf. I'm just going to wrap it up with some stats. So if I go over here, the daily updates channel just hit 1,066, which is a 65 increase. The main Insta, which I do not actually have access to right now, unfortunately, is at 24,900. Let's say 24,910 statistically should be pretty on point. So we're about 500 of growth in the last 24 hours. This is to be expected, just given the fact that I haven't published very much. I think we had a day off just because I did not have my teleprompter come in time. And then the main one, I just scroll through here and find it for us, was 54,385. So we had a massive spike yesterday after publishing the most recent video on website AI agents. Essentially how to create a chatbot. This one definitely went viral, 9,356, and it hasn't even been a full 24 hours yet. So I was wondering why I was getting cha-ching noises in Maker School every day. We almost hit 300 subscribers from this alone. And yeah, we're not even a full day. So it's probably gonna be like 350 or whatever by the time this is done. No doubt in my mind, we've probably gotten some bullshit. Looks like we have just a couple. But yeah, I'll answer those questions another time. Really appreciate everybody here. Thank you for always watching and obviously joining my communities like Maker School, Make Money with Make. If you guys have any questions that maybe I didn't get to, just drop them down below. I take most of my requests from my audience at this point, and I'd be happy to do yours as well. Thank you very much. Have a good rest of the day.